Hello Storm Club, I hope you're keeping well. So this is the first ever online Storm Club and the theme for this term is Beastie Boys and Wild Things, which is all about being crazy. So we're going to have a warm up, a story, a memory verse and some crazy crafts with our own hair. So thank you for watching and hopefully joining in with our wild warm-up. Now I'm handing over to Ginny. She's going to tell us a story and teach us the first bit of our memory verse.
Hello Storm Club and welcome to our new term. Huge thanks to Amy for the amazing warm-up, and just a reminder, as she said, that our theme for this term is going to be Beastie Boys and Wild Things, and we're going to have great fun with that theme. So we start with the first story. So at the beginning of our story it's dark, so you need to put your hands over your eyes, and I know that some people are a bit scared of the dark, but we don't need to be scared because lots of good things happen in the dark. Seeds grow underground in the dark. Butterfly chrysalis, they pupate in the dark. And we have to remember that God made the dark and he's not scared of it. And in fact, the Bible tells us that darkness is as light to him. So, first of all, it was dark, and then God turned on the light, and then he divided the light into day and night, and then he separated the water. So we had dry land and we had water, and then he created the vegetables. I wonder what your favourite vegetable is. I think mine is probably spinach. I love a bit of spinach with a poached egg on the top. And then we got the two great lights, the sun and the moon, and obviously the stars. And then God put the Beastie Boys and the wild things into the world. So in the water were all the sea creatures, and in the air were all the birds, and on the land there were two different sorts of animals. There was livestock. I don't know if you know what livestock are. They're things like cows and sheep and pigs and those kind of things. And then there were the wild animals. And do you know what? God looked at everything and said, that is good. So there's a lot of Beastie Boys and wild things in the Bible, and we're going to look at some of them over the next coming weeks. Probably the first ones we hear about are something called the behemoths and the leviathans, and we find them in the book of Job, and they're probably references to things that we might call dinosaurs. And then there's our first story next week is going to be about a talking donkey. And then there was David. Do you remember David, who was a great shepherd, and he wrestled with lions and bears? And then there's lots of people in the Bible with wild hair. Lots of us are struggling with our hair at the moment. There was Samson, whose hair grew, and that was, he believed, the source of his strength. Then there was John the Baptist. He had crazy hair. And then there was a man who lived in a graveyard, which is kind of strange, but he had mad hair. And then do you remember the lady who let her hair down and washed Jesus' feet with her hair? So we're going to have a lot of fun with these stories in the coming weeks. And in a minute, Grace is going to show us how to do wild things with our hair. But before I go, we're going to have a look at our memory verse. But remember today that God is greater than all the beasties and the wild things, and God is greater than all the things that scare us. And God is not scared of the dark because he made it, and he knows that good things grow in the dark like seeds under the ground, which one day will burst out into the light and grow fruit. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you our memory verse. We won't learn it all today, but just to give you an idea of what's coming. So, wild animals will say thank you. Dogs and owls, because I provided water in the desert, drinking water for the people that I chose. The people I formed for myself, that they may proclaim my praise. So now I'm going to hand over to Grace, who's going to show us how to do crazy wild things with our hair. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you, Ginny, for that lovely story and the beginning of our memory verse. So as you've heard, our new theme is Beastie Boys and wild things. So I will now be teaching you how to do this wild hair, turning it a bit different colours. So mine's a bluey green, as you can see here. Hello and welcome to our online craft with Storm and me, Grace. Today we are going to be doing some wild hair dyeing. And for this you will need tissue paper, you'll need some strips of tin foil, you'll need a hairbrush and a paintbrush, some hot water and a hairdryer, and you will need adult supervision because it's better to get someone else to do this for you, although I'm going to have a go at doing it on myself. First things first, you'll need to get the tissue papers that you want to have a go with and just take off a little bit of them and put it in some hot water to check that the colour will come out of them, because I noticed with mine not all of them did, but this one is good to go. Once you have found a suitable tissue paper, you need to section your hair. I did a ponytail at the back and have the two front sides here. I'm going to start with this side, so I've just taken the front section out and left the rest clipped behind. You will then need to part fill a bowl with some boiling water and add a clump of your tissue paper that you know works. You want to leave it in there for about 2 or 3 minutes and give it a nice stir and squeeze out some of that colour. You want to leave it just long enough that the water is full of colour, but not too long that the water goes cold, so around 2 minutes should be perfect. Once the colour is nice and deep, you want to take the section of your hair and pop some tin foil behind it. You then just want to gently paint on the blue colour, making sure it's properly soaked. You can dip the hair first or paint it straight on. I might go for a little dip, get it nice and wet and soaked in that colour. Okay, put it back on our tin foil. I might just take it a little bit higher. Okay, once that section is fully covered, you can fold the tin foil in half and just fold either side in. And you'll want to continue doing this with each section of your hair until it is completely done. And then you'll wait half an hour and I'll come back once I've done my whole head and I'll take them out and we'll give it a blow dry and we'll see what it looks like. So you will end up looking a little bit like an alien once you are all covered, but then you just need to wait 30 minutes and take them all out and blow dry your hair and have a look at the amazing results, and I'll be back to show you mine. And this is the finished look once it's all been dyed. You can see it's not that clear in my hair, but hopefully it will get a little clearer and it won't stay too long, so no worries there. Thanks, bye.